Hi everyone, thanks for visiting my channel. I'm very excited today because I'm going to actually start digging out this whole back border here in order to pave the area, and I'm going to erect a greenhouse here. And this back border here is basically where I've put all the sort of overspill plants over the years. It doesn't normally look as flat as this. We've had the first rain in the northeast of England since the 17th of May. We've had 3 days of torrential rain, so all of these beautiful tall aquilesias have come down, the geums down. I'm not too bothered because, as I say, I was going to dig this out anyway. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to have a wander around the garden to look for areas in the garden where I've got that dune gap. I have got a video out on the dune gap. For anybody who doesn't know, it's the period in the year when all your spring flowers are finished, your tulips and daffodils and that. You've lost all the spring colour, but it's too early, particularly up here in the northeast of England, for the summer flowers to start flowering. So my phlox hasn't flowered, my alstroemeria is just starting to flower. So my garden has big areas where it's just green, and I'd like to introduce some of this zingy orange, and I'm going to split some of the Dutch iris, the deep purple Dutch iris that I've got, and plant that next. I'm going to dig this geum out here, so I'll move this over. Hopefully you can see what I'm doing. And I don't know whether I said at the beginning of the video, I wouldn't normally be moving plants at this time of year. I would normally do it early spring or in autumn, but needs must this year. And they'll be absolutely fine, because what you have to remember is your plants want to grow, they want to survive. And if you can give them the best conditions you possibly can, they will thrive. And if they don't, well, they're too fussy and they're not worth the effort. Right. Okay, take that out of the way, and then we'll see what we've got. Take this dead stuff off. Right, I've brought him over here into the shade. I think we're both too hot. Right, so I'm just going to chop him in half. Dear me. That's it. That's it. Oops. There we go. So he has got roots on him there. Try and pull him apart, that's better. Right, so I've got a lot of roots there. Let's see what I can get off here. Split him into two. And these will be fine. I'll just have to make sure that I keep them well watered. Right, what I'm going to do with him is, because he hasn't got many roots, is I'm going to put him in a glass of water and he should root, no bother. You can see that little bit there and that little bit there. He has got roots at the bottom there. These little white ones are roots and that's roots. So they'll go in 2 glasses of water and I'll just watch, and I bet probably 2 weeks time they will have a good root system on them. Right, so I've got my trug full of water there. So you can see that there's an area here. This area here is filled with Archimilla mollis, which is beautiful. You get that lovely lime greenness in the spring. My point is I've got lots of Archimilla mollis, so I'm going to dig a big clump of him out and I'm going to put some of that zingy orange in there. These are the Dutch iris I was talking about, the deep purple. Just chop the seed heads or the flower heads off to stop the bulb from trying to produce seeds, wasting its energy, but you don't chop this stem off. You leave that to die back naturally. I'm going to leave this clump here because then the orange will be behind it next year. That'll be lovely. See how shady my garden is because I have lots of tall trees. So this is a relatively new piece of the border here. This was completely overrun by goldenrod last year and I dug it all out. So I'm looking for gaps here. You know, I think I'm just going to put a piece right over there at the back because it's such a tall Geum. He'll be fine there. Right, this area here can definitely take some because it's overrun with this weed. It used to have beautiful purple geranium in here. Now I have got some beautiful alliums there, but I can dig a big piece out here. I'll just stand back a bit so you sort of get the sort of context. So this is that deep purple iris, and then if I have that orange geum there, that would look lovely. Right, these borders are just coming to life now. I only made a video on the Geum gap, I think it was 7 days ago, and this was all green. So I can put some Geum in there. Hi there. Right, so I've been working on this corner of the front garden for about the last hour in this baking heat, opening up a space to plant the Geum. And then I went back to the camera and it hasn't been recording, so you don't get a second go. The plants are out. I've made the gap, so I'll show you the space I've got now. So I've got a nice big space there. I've also found, when I took a lot of the daisy out, some Jerusalem sage down there. I think that's what they are. I grew them from seed about 2 years ago. So right, I'm getting very tired now. And then I'm going to go out onto the main road here. So you'll have noticed that I've dug out a big clump of the New Zealand satin flower there, and that's because I think it's just too short-lived at the front. It just sort of flowers for 2 or 3 weeks and then that's done, and what I'm left with is a big spiky guy. So he will just go by my gate, and I'll put a sign on saying, please tell them what it is, and somebody will take him. So I've got a nice big gap there. I've got one down there. The next thing that I'm going to do, if we come along here, is I'm going to dig out this plant here, which is an ice plant, a sedum, and he just got drowned out by a huge aqualesia, so he's not going to stand back up again this year, and he looks a bit tatty like that. So I'm going to dig him out and plant a nice big clump of Geum there. Right, I want to be quick about this. So what I'm going to do with this, because he's lovely and healthy, there's nothing wrong with him, it's just he's not going to be the right shape. So I'm going to cut all the leaves off, all the stems off, and then I'm going to replant him somewhere, probably back in that front border. And you never know, he might rejuvenate for this year, because these sedums really come into their own in the autumn. So that's it, job done, and hopefully you can see that actually all of the hard work and the time went in digging the holes to put the bits of geum in the first place. I think digging up the geum and actually planting it in the holes only took about half an hour. So I'm very tired, very dirty. You'll also notice that when I put the little new plants into the holes, I put a watering can of water on each one, I soak them in. And I'm very confident that all those little bits of geum that I've split will be as big as the initial plant was that I dug out of the back by next year. So you just have to try and imagine all these borders in June next year. I'll have big splashes of zingy orange. So I'm looking forward to that. And you never know, I might actually get a flush of flowers late summer this year. So you might just be thinking, oh, that's far too much hard work. Why not just go and buy the plants from the garden centre? They would cost a fortune if I had to plant. I mean, how many plants did I get out of that? 7. So yes, this is how you bulk up your garden for free. And you're only really splitting plants that you absolutely love, like that geum. So it's just continuity around the garden, and it ties everything together. So thank you so much for visiting the channel. I hope you've enjoyed the video, and I hate to ask, but please, if you could subscribe, it really means a lot to me. It's very new, the channel, and it just lets me know that I'm on the right track with the content. So until next time, take care. Bye.